Hi, I'm Kurt from Oz Armour and welcome to Workshop Wednesday. The JAGDPANTHER is coming together at a cracking pace and Daz and Jess are finally inside of the finishing line. Now, since we aren't making this vehicle a runner at the moment, you're going to see some things that aren't going to look quite right, like the suspension system and the internal frames. Now, you might be asking, well, why not just make it a runner since it's in the workshop at the moment? Well, there are two main reasons. One is we don't have all the parts at the moment, and two, we have a lot of other really exciting projects in the pipeline that we're keen to get on with. But more on that later. For now, sit back, relax and enjoy episode 9 of the JAGDPANTHER.
In the last episode, we got the rear of the superstructure fitted. Now it's time to get the engine decks in. Jesse spent a lot of time making these frames, and now he's prepping them for priming.
We didn't really have any measurements or photos or anything really to go off with the back supports that hold the decks. I've laid all of our original decks out on the floor, got measurements and everything, and I've designed a frame just to hold it. It's not exactly how it would have been made, but it's what we needed to hold our decks up because we don't have our engine and everything fitted. But if we were to fit an engine and that it would go straight in.
We have since upgraded from spray cans to a spray gun used only for red oxide primer.
These original blocks and everything, we've left them exactly how they were. They've just had like little bits like taken off. You can see this here, it's missing the rest of the hull. It's just been broken off. But we're going to use all the original hulls and everything that were there, and yeah, we haven't touched the blocks where they were. You can actually see where the blocks have slightly started to lift off. Same with this one over here. You can see it's actually ripped off the weld slightly, but it's in the same spot where it was, so we've just left it. There was no need to take them out or anything like that.
With the frames primed, it's time to get the decks on.
A little bit. These are just temporary bolts too, just for now. I've got to make some bolts. This is just to get all these decks down for now. When we first got it, it was bent completely up in the air. This whole back piece, you can see where it was cut. I had to cut through here and here and along here and then try press it all flat, and we just couldn't get it perfect. It just, no matter what I did, I spent, you know, probably 2-3 days trying to press it, trying to pull it down, and it just wouldn't come down. So we just kind of had to just leave it where it was because we knew that we were going to pull it down eventually at the end anyway. I'll just go a little bit on all of them. Cheers. Yeah, thank you.
This vent has some interesting damage on it, and we're not sure of its origin.
That's been done by what we think maybe a farmer or something. Maybe they were just testing when they were oxy-cutting. But you can also see that these have all been oxy-cut all the way around there too. We're not 100% sure, unless someone's seen something similar to that before. But yeah, it's just a very rough oxy-cut or something like that. Yeah, it's
into
just gouged right out. So yeah, it's very weird, very weird.
If anyone else's JAGDPANTHER has marks like this, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. The vent plate on the other side is not quite right for our variant.
We've got these original plates that bolt onto the back deck supports, These are what we think are early covers, but this is definitely a late vent. It's the only vent that we have, so and we're doing a late JAGDPANTHER variant. So yeah, this isn't correct, but it's what we've been supplied with. Originally there's like a little mesh frame and it goes in here, so we're going to have to bend all these apart and make a new mesh frame to go in there. Can't miss it. Pretty close. They've trimmed them. A lot of these vents, they've oxy cut them down. So you can see here they went along and they've cut here and they've trimmed it here too. They've all been lightly altered. But this one here, they've cut most of the lip off. Like it's completely gone. We're not sure why they would have done it. It must have interfered with something, but they've completely cut it off. You right? Yep. Can't lift that. No, I can, but it's heavy. Lucky bows. Yep, that's good. Can you, on my bench, there's some 18-inch bolts I made. Can you just grab them quickly?
We'll have more to show of Jesse putting the finishing touches on these rear decks in the next few weeks. Even though there's still quite a bit left to do, it's really exciting seeing it all come together. Time to get painting. We aren't doing the entire vehicle just yet. We haven't even chosen a paint scheme. Jesse's only applying a coat of Dunkelgelb to the underside of the superstructure and hull, because it will be a lot easier than doing it after the swing arms are fitted. This next step is very fiddly. Daz and Jess have to set up our swing arms and shafts. Our vehicle is not being made into a runner at the moment, so we have designed a suspension system that is fixed and will hold the JAGDPANTHER's weight on flat ground. This means the lads have to put a wheel together and carefully calibrate each swing arm to its correct height. So enjoy your fly on the wall experience as Daz and Jess work it all out, with only the music of the workshop.
No, wrong. Oh no, this is right.
That should be on enough, is it? That's on.
You have to go up. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Yep. Yep, a little bit more down. Keep going down. Yep, there you go. Done.
Hey, mama.
It's a little bit of a lip on the inside, which is what we want.
Yeah.
A little bit of a lip.
Let me just say from centre of tyre
Yeah.
to rim.
Well, what is that now? Roughly? What was it? 390 to the centre. So that's there. That's pretty close, huh?
Yeah.
390.
Yeah.
So that's about 165 for that. So theoretically, if we go to about 170 from the wall.
Centre. We know what would be better is if we worked out what it is now, then took the wheels off and measured to the actual hub, because the hub is at a fixed spot.
Yeah.
And those rubbers could be different. Yeah, was that bending the shaft?
I don't know. I can't see. Just wait and see.
So knock this one back centre. Yeah, that's good.
Alright, go down.
That should be our proper height. You know what I mean?
Yep. Since we've moved it around, just measure it again. Yeah.
Now we're poking through now.
Oh,
You like that? Yep. Alright. We're going to say 260. Do the other side on that side. Move the back off there. $260.
so that's it.
That centre there.
So we're
Which
further
is,
out.
No. We're only 2 mil
yeah.
off. Now you know what, Jess?
Yep.
We just disassemble the wheels now, take them off,
Yeah, and we just measure this shaft now.
and we don't.
This is our template shaft.
Yeah. But now we don't try and pull these wheels off in a set. We just take them off one at a time and then the hub.
Yep, sounds good.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, now we've got this shaft in, we can measure everything to it,
Yeah.
and then we'll just do the shafts now, because there's no point assembling every wheel and doing it like that.
Yeah.
We'll be here till Armourfest.
We've been trying to get the actual position of these wheel hubs. So we've done a trial one, get the right position, and now we can go through and set them all up the same. So it's been a bit of an issue trying to get them in, but we've got to put up one set first so we can get all the measurements. We had to manufacture our own suspension because it's at this stage it's only a static vehicle, so we're not worried too much. We want to get it on display so more people can see it, and then further down the track, if it happens, we'll make it a runner. So we've just had to design the suspension ourselves just to take its weight. It's going to be about 30 tonne all up. Because of the amount of weight on it and there's no torsion bars inside, what we've done is we've made our own swing arms and we've put a flat spot on them. So the flat spot should take the weight. Otherwise, if they were round, they'd just tear off on the welds possibly and just collapse down, sink down. So what we've done was put a flat bit on them, so that'll actually stop it. If it does take a bit of weight, it'll only turn so far. So now we've got one done. We're going to take the wheels off, take the hub off, and then that axle there in position will be what we set all our others up to. We can measure off the side of the hull to get the right positioning, and then we can put all the other axles in.
During the fitting, it was found that each shaft will need to be trimmed down, so it's time to remove and disassemble the wheel and get Jess into his production line.
Drop your mark, too much paint.
Yeah.
So we can go through and square them all up and get the centers. So it just saves us having to put all the wheels on and assemble them all one by one, because it will take too long. We've got one that we can go off, we know it's right, we know it's 100% correct, so we'll just copy that one from now for all these wheels and the other side too.
We have also since decided that it would be easier to wheel the JAGDPANTHER into the museum on a huge trolley and then fit the wheels and track on in its display area.
There, these are all the measurements we can get. Yeah, so while they're down on them, you can judge where the magic number starts.
From there.
Yeah.
Do you want to just throw that one in? Just so we don't get confused. We'll cut some now.
Oh.
Come on.
We've worked out from our original swing arm that they've got like a 20mm spacer in between your swing arm and that. So we've just got a 20mm block that we're just putting in to pack it off 20mm off the hull.
If you're keen to see a running vehicle restoration, be sure to check out our Stug 3G series. We're not up to the torsion bar suspension episode yet, but be sure to subscribe and check in every Wednesday, or Tuesday if you live in Europe or the US.
Weight in them, these shafts. So we have coolant. We have coolant. To the bottom, 470 to the bottom, and 560 to the top. So this is too high already, I've already brought it up too much. So, get down a little bit. So, I'll do that. So, 470 to the bottom, and then 460 to the top. It's a little bit out, it's about 1/2 mil out, but it's not too bad. It didn't fall.
I had to do it. I had to do it for you, Jess.
Amateur hour.
Isn't it the other way? Ah, just kidding.
Wouldn't have mattered anyway. I don't know why I was stressing, it wouldn't have mattered. Where's the bearing gone?
Flick it. Yeah. Looking good. Now time to do the other side.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Next week, Bo is going to be tackling the differential housing in our Stulp 3G restoration project to see what kind of condition the planetary gears are in. That's going to be one not to miss. So don't forget to tune in next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from Armour, and I'll see you on the next one.